What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Jarrell. So in today's video, I want to go over this gun flex Trey mini scheme part 1. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So like I said, I'm inside the gun flex Trey, and what's cool about this formation is you can actually get 5 receivers out there. You just have to play around with the packages, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. But as far as the playbook, I'm in the Packers playbook. Again, I'm in the Packers offensive playbook. Now, one thing I do want to say is that I believe this is only found in the Packers playbook, but this is probably one of the best empties in Madden 22. Now there's a couple other ones that come really close to it, but this one you can do a lot of glitchy things out of here, and I'll kind of explain that here in a little bit. But first and foremost, what I want to say is, man, thank you guys to the guys who actually watch my channel consistently. You guys are interacting with me. You like my videos. The guys that comment, man, I truly appreciate hearing from you guys. And if you don't do any of that, that's okay. I'm really just glad you're here watching the videos. It really, truly means a lot to me. And I just want to make sure that I wanted to tell you guys it means a lot to me. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Now, what you want to do is go to packages over here, and you want to look for this package called strong slots. So if you notice, I'm going to go to wide receiver strong just because. So notice how 89, you see that 89 is our tight end, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go right here. Notice how that's our tight end number 89, right? So if you go to the strong slots, notice how 89 now is on the outside left. So all you want to do is actually hit R1 to go to your subs, and then you want to go right here to Davante Adams. Even though 89 doesn't show right there, and when you go to the package, he's going to be right there. So basically, what we're going to do is click on it. We're going to sub in a receiver right here. So basically, we're subbing out our tight end now, if that can make sense. So now, if we go back to strong slots, notice how 89 is not there anymore. Now, what you need to make sure you do not do, please make sure you listen. If you want 5 receivers out there, please do not sub anybody in this spot right here. Please don't sub in none of the tight ends. If you need to make corrections, do it on the actual depth chart when you press start. Because if you sub in somebody right here, you will not be able to get this package where you have a receiver in, like 5 receivers. So that's really, really important. Now, in today's video, basically all I'm going to go over is more than likely just 4 verticals. I'm going to show you how I love to run it. Yes, 4 verticals. You can run it different ways. So I'm going to show you how I like to do that. And if I have time, I'll show you guys curl flat, how I like to run that as far as a spacing concept. And then in part 2, what I'm going to do is actually show gameplay. So I'm going to hop into a game. I'm going to, you know, run this scheme basically how I like to run it, and then I'm gonna show you guys in a video format where I break down all the steps and break down all the setups I like to do. So if you guys want to see that, please like this video. That's literally the only way I know if you guys will like it or not. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go to 4 verticals right here. Now, as far as defense goes, I'll just pick the Packers. So it's the defensive playbook for the Packers. So I guess we'll do some type of dime. We'll do 2-3-6. So just so I don't get hollered at relentlessly, which is going to happen regardless, I'm going to actually sub in some garbage defensive line. That's just to buy me enough time. That's all that's for. Now I'm going to put in some fast safety. So I believe Black is actually fast, and Vernon Scott, he's good right there. Let's check out the cornerbacks. Okay, we're good at safety. And right here, I'm actually going to put, I believe King is the better player here. So, well, no, we'll put Douglas. He was balling this year, so he might be good. So now, as far as coverages, I'm going to show you guys. So we're going to do cover 3. We're going to do cover 2. Now, I don't want to do sync. I want to do just normal cover 2. So we're going to do Tampa 2 because that's what you'll see. Instead of cover 6 invert, let's put another match coverage in there. So they have press quarters and they have palms. So let's do palms. Palms pretty popular. So we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys man. I'm going to show you guys cover 2. I'm going to show you guys cover 4 palms. And we're going to talk about cover 3 to come out in. So let's do a random stop cover 3. So cover 3 sky is going to be perfect. Now what I'm going to do is back this ball up. Now when you run this offense, normally you want to keep your 3 receivers to the wide side. But I'm going to leave it in the middle of the field just because to show you that it doesn't. You definitely don't have to have your 3 receivers to the wide side for this offense to work. You can definitely run it in the middle. Now my favorite setup for 4 verticals is actually taking square, putting them on a smoke screen. I like to take triangle, put them on a streak, and we want to take Davante Adams right here and motion them across. Now, our scheme is going to be based on motioning Davante Adams across because there's a lot of nice route combos you can use motioning him across, and it's going to make the opponent unable to keep up with everything you're trying to do. So this setup might look a little weird to you guys, but we have a great 2-sided read. So if the user's on his left side, what you're going to do is actually make this right side read right here between this, because this little R1 route, notice how it's run up and kind of breaks towards the middle. That's going to split cover 3, and it's actually going to split cover 2. So it's actually really, really glitchy. And if they play like a cover 4 drop, a lot of times you're going to make this read right here between X and square. Even though it's not meant to be cover 4 drop, if they happen to play that, then that's where you're going to make this read at. So like again, this is not really a cover 4 drop beater per se. But with all that said, basically let's go and get into it now. I'm going to back off that slot corner. You might be saying, "Rel, why?" And the reason why is because I don't want him to press. Why don't I want him to press, Rel? It's because most people are going to be playing some type of zone drop. You know, that's why I want him to. Now I'll show you what it looks like if they do press. Don't worry, I got you. But anyways, without further ado, guys are probably tired of me talking, so I'm gonna spy him just to have a tiny bit of time. But I want you to watch this X route. Watch how it gets open. Notice how, you know, easily we can make the throw. Now you don't need Rodgers to make the throw by any means. You can tell it's literally wide open. So Rodgers has zero effect on that play at all. So what's going to happen is that this streak is going to force that cornerback to have to play that, and this little 4 verticals route, this little extended corner route, it's ran so deep that the purple is actually going to get glitched down right here to the flat, and that's going to allow this throw to just literally be wide open, literally wide open. Now also what's cool is if you guys look too here, look at who we could throw. We could throw this ball right here, right now. That is such an easy throw to make. Pass lead on the inside a little bit, and that's going to be a nice possession catch, which I'll show you that. You can tell, I mean, it's still literally wide open just because of the route concept that we have going. So I'm going to show you that throw. That throw is definitely possible, and I'm actually going to leave press animations on this. Now, press animations on this play can do a couple different things. So sometimes if the slot cornerback presses, then this route actually does not get open that well. So that's something that you have to be aware of. So I'll just kind of go and replay, kind of show you both. But look at R1. I threw it kind of late just to try to get our X route developed. But you could tell, you could literally, especially if you have somebody like Rodgers, you could sit there and just zip that ball in there the whole entire time. Now, what I was trying to explain to you is that notice how he presses, and now notice how our cornerback's right here now. So basically what you have to do if you wanted to throw that, you'd have to wait for him to get on the sideline and just kind of sit. You see he'll have to like curl up right here, which I'll show you that here in a second. Then we're going to go ahead and move on. So I don't want to flood you guys with too much information. I don't want to make this video too boring. So just let me know, you know, I'm trying to find a good balance between teaching and, well, not over teaching, I should say, because that can definitely be a problem. But anyways, let me go and show you what I was trying to explain to you. So notice how well, with Rodgers, he's fitting that in there, but if you have another quarterback, he might not be able to bullet it like that. So just be very, very mindful of that. And just know always, like, if there's zone dropping, you could always just hit your flat route. So I'll show you that. Well, I'm not going to show you, but basically just know if there's zone dropping, you can always hit your flat route. Now, moving forward, let's talk about Tampa 2. So this is another variation you'll see. Now, either you'll see this variation where they're using this guy right here, or they're going to put that guy into a middle third, and then they're going to use either this guy or this guy. Whichever one, it doesn't matter. Now, if they do this where they're using like a vertical hook and they're leaving that middle of the field open, we're going to have a one-play touchdown. So that's what's good about this play, which I'll go and show you that right now. So I didn't mean to motion him, excuse me. Let's go ahead and put it back. Go back. Can I go back? Okay, there it goes. All right, so basically we're going to go ahead and motion this guy. What's going to happen is this R1 route right here, he's going to be able to split that safety, and it's actually really nice how it works. And a lot of times you're going to have a high-low between X and square anyway, so let me see if I can just show you that. So I'm going to throw R1. Just notice what happens. Notice how he's going to just get wide open, and we're going to be able to split that safety. And I could have threw it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to have time to let the other routes develop. You could tell I could have been bulleted, so I was just going to show you that in case you missed it. So I could have been bulleted this pass right now. I could throw it right now. As soon as he glitches here, I could just throw this ball, and notice how I haven't even started my throwing motion yet. So just notice, like, I could have been through this, like right here I could have already threw it, but I was just kind of waited, because what's going to happen is that the cornerback is going to drop. That's what I wanted you to have time to see. So if they're not zone dropping, or if they are zone dropping, then think about it. If they are zone dropping, this cornerback is going to stay right there, right? If they are, or he's going to be somewhere up in here, right? So what's going to happen is that we'll have this throw wide open, and what's going to happen 9 times out of 10 is that if the user's in the middle of the field, like let's say he's usering, right? So a lot of times they're going to just kind of be frozen in the middle a lot of times, or they're going to take the user and run with him if they don't have a deep person. So what's going to happen is that we'll have this throw right here, or if they are zone dropping, if they are not zone dropping, then we'll be patient, and then we'll throw this ball right here as soon as the cornerback drops, if you can picture that. So that's why I said that this play, you know, is really, really deadly against cover 2. So I'll show you that here real quick too, so in case you just kind of want a visual. Now, if they're playing, now obviously, I hate to say it, but obviously if they're playing a defense where they're using this guy right here, then this is not a setup you should want to run at all. And the reason why is because we just won't have anything open at that point. Why? Because he's going to essentially, you know, cover a square, if you could picture that. So like he's basically going to cover him. So this is not a setup I would use versus this cell defense, unless he was on this side, right? Unless he was using that side, then I would definitely use this setup, which he definitely could, because we're going to have a lot of backside crossers with this play. So basically, like I was saying, like if it just, you know, we could imagine X being open, so at that point you could just try to maybe playmaker or something, or, you know, something, maybe a route bounce, you know, that's what you'll be banking on at that point, because, you know, everything will basically be taken away. That's worst case scenario with cover 2. So it's definitely not a cover 2 dot, but there's things we can still do, you know, to dot up cover 2, just not this particular setup. Now, moving forward, now man coverage. So with man, it's a little different. So with man, this route is not going to be good motioned over. So if they're playing man coverage, my suggestion is actually just kind of running in stock, or you can take triangle, put them on a manual slant if you want to. That's always an option too. And sometimes what I do like to do as well is actually take circle, put them on an out route. I mean in route, smart route is in route, and I take them and motion them across. Now, the reason I would do this, because R1 can actually win on this route if you have a good matchup, and then we have a backside out route that can actually win too. And then notice the separation that we get with X. So notice I probably could have threw that on the sideline. I just, you know, wanted you guys to see it develop, so I wanted to go on replay and actually show you. So man coverage, this route right here can beat man coverage, especially if you have your best receiver there. He's normally going to get a great win animation. And if they play a deep safety, sometimes what can happen is that it can actually push him out. And the bad thing is that we actually can't throw this, but it just depends on your matchup, honestly. That's why I said it literally just depends. Now obviously Jair is going to bag St. Brown, you know, that's obvious. So yeah, on this scenario you're basically going to be reading the user. So the user would have to either take the slant, or they're going to have to take this crosser slash out route. So I like to read the slant to out route, if you want to be honest. So normally a normal user, if they're playing this style of aggressive defense, they're going to take this slant every single time, just about, from what I've seen, you know. And when that happens, I love to make this backside out route read right here. So if they're putting this guy in a purple, if you can picture him in a purple, then a lot of times you can pass lead this guy up the field for almost a one-play touchdown if you get a nice little win animation, which I'm going to go and show you that here right now. So like if they're playing like an aggressive style man coverage and they're not like shading over the top, and they're playing some dumb coverage, like, you know, why don't let me put, oh, okay, so I can't put him in the purple. Okay, but anyways, you can picture that being open, you know, but anyways, we'll go ahead and move on, because I didn't know that in Dime 236 you actually can't put that guy in the purple, so that's cool, I guess. Now, moving on to the last cover show, because this is going to be all for part 1, because this video is already a little long. Now, let me know if you guys like this, where I actually take time to break it down, show you guys each individual coverage and how I like to, you know, read it. So yeah, let me know if you like that. So basically, for the last thing, what's really cool is that a lot of times when people are going to play match coverage for some reason, they're going to always press. Rarely do I see people not run match coverage. Well, rarely do I see people run match coverage and not press. So what's going to happen here is that we're actually going to have a one-play touchdown. It's going to be with this guy right here. And because what's going to happen is that this safety right here, he's actually going to kind of glitch. He's the one responsible for him, but for some reason they get kind of confused, and like he just kind of sits still for a second. He's going to get, and then this receiver right here is going to get basically right over the top of him. So I'm just going to show you that right here. So kind of watch what happens. So notice how he shuffles, and then like they switch. But when they switch, what's going to happen is that, you know, since they're switching, he's just going to be able to bomb him, well, burn him, excuse me, and we're going to be able to bomb them just like that. So what's nice is that a lot of times the user is going to be using their 3-rec a lot of times. So they're not going to just take their user and just sprint straight over there. Nobody's going to do that in their real natural mind. What's going to happen is that they're going to sit right here for a second. They're going to try to read what's going on. So they're not going to sprint out here like that anyways. They're going to kind of sit. And maybe right now they're probably going to take their user and try to go help out right here. Normally that's what happens. Now, don't mind this route, because this is only because it's Devontae Adams. He's getting that much separation. Normally it does not get that much separation in game. But notice what happens. Notice how they switch. So notice how he's starting to guard Devontae Adams, and then he's like, oh, hey, actually, let's switch with the safety. And you're going to notice that happens every single time. So basically, he's automatically going to just have a couple steps on him. So if you have somebody, you know, pretty fast right here, it's going to be a one-play touchdown pretty much every single time. And since they're switching, this actually can be open, but it's normally not like that big of a speed burst. So I'll show you now also the same. I think the same thing does happen if they aren't pressing, which I'll go and show you. So let's just say they're not pressing. I believe the same thing will still happen. So let me go ahead and take them, motion them across. Triangle on a streak, square on a smoke screen. That's the beauty setup. So now I want to say the same thing still does happen. Yep, you can tell the same thing still does happen. So a lot of times you can actually just float the ball out there, and then you're going to just basically get a one-play touchdown. You can tell that's Vernon Scott, who has like 92 speed, I believe. So it's definitely, you know, not a speed base. And the good thing for us is that it's actually the so let's go back to cover for palms. So it's actually whoever that quarter flat defender is. So slot cornerback slash linebacker, whatever kind of defense they're in. So that's going to be an even better matchup for us. Now, technically, I believe you can still use the same man beater setup if you wanted to. So we can still take triangle, put them on a slant, circle on the in route, smart route is in route, and we're actually still going to have pretty much the same read progression. So a lot of times triangle will get open, and also you will have circle route as well. Since it's a match coverage, you can tell X, I mean, he just literally just dusts his man, but because it's Devontae Adams, you know, but a lot of times you can still read that backside slant to out route combo. It all depends on who that quarter flat is, if they match it really well. You can tell right here, we can kind of look, and they actually did a great job of taking that out route away. Now, I believe that's a 3-rec. No, that's actually the vertical hook on that slant. So yeah, this setup actually does get bagged by this particular match coverage. And then a lot of times the user will be somewhere up in here trying to follow something with the 3-rec. So this will be your best bet, is to put your best receiver here if they're playing like this style of match and you want to run a different variation. But like I said, if you notice they're playing match, I would recommend just running the one I just showed you, because I believe that works for cover 4 quarters as well. So real quick, while I still got some of you guys here, let's test it out versus cover 4 quarters real quick, and then after that, that'll be the video, because I'm just curious at this point to see like what it looks like versus cover 4 quarters, because what I just showed you guys was cover 4 palms. So let's go back to down 2 through 6, and then let's go to cover 4 well, press quarters, which is cover 4 quarters. So I'm gonna go ahead and press 2, and just to kind of keep everything consistent, motion them over, triangle on the street, square on the smoke screen. I like to let them set. I don't like the motion snap. I like to let them set in this particular situation. So yeah, let's take a look at what happens. Okay, so they just completely abandoned X, so that's something that you can know. So if they run cover 4 quarters, then what's going to happen is that you can tell they're going to kind of act like they guard X, which means you'll have that open every single time, because what the user is going to see, this right here. Now this is actually the 3-rec actually, so what's going to happen is we're actually going to have this wide open, because this is the 3-rec defender, which is normally going to be your user. Normally users are going to use the 3-rec, so they're going to kind of look for work, so they're not going to fly out there that fast unless you just ran this already a hurry up offense. They might, but a lot of times they're going to sit right here, just kind of wait for like Devontae Adams to do something breaking inside, and then when they see the out route, you know, they're not going to be able to be there in time. That's going to be just literally a wide open dot that you can throw, because that is the 3-rec that we're picking on. So yeah, basically that's gonna wrap it up for this video though. I thought about doing curl flats and all that, but I'm gonna use that inside the gameplay so you guys can see exactly how, you know, I like to run that and how to scheme it together, and why I like to motion this receiver over every time, or just about every time. But anyways, man, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.